In this video, I want to share two tips with you about managing slug and snail problems. One's preventative and the other's a real killer. Most gardeners have a problem at some stage or another with these pests. Here in northern Thailand, we certainly do, in particular during the rainy season. And in this video, I'll share a couple of ways that we like to deal with this problem. We've got an area here close to our kitchen where my wife's got some chili seedlings, and we've got some tomato plants as well. The snails and slugs generally don't go for the tomatoes, which I'm happy about, but they are eating some of these chili seedlings. So my aim is to cut back the vetiver grass, which I need to do because it's getting a little bit out of hand. We've got it planted all alongside the vegetable garden. It's really good there because it does help a lot with wicking up the moisture that comes from the rice fields next door. I'll also cut some of the vetiver grass into shorter lengths and use it as a mulch around the seedlings in the top of the baskets as well. And I'll also use some of this cut up vetiver grass in our garden where I've got some Swiss chard and other leafy greens growing that the snails tend to enjoy as well. And if we've got some left over after that, I'm sure I'll make good use of it in other areas in the garden. We've discovered that as our garden's getting older, as we've got more pots and more mulch on the ground, this is providing places that the snails and slugs really like to hang out. And I've moved the baskets out of the way, out of the area, and I'll make a carpet of vetiver grass cutting as a mulch, and then I'm placing the baskets back on top of it. So hopefully this will act as a deterrent. And particularly during the rainy season here, it's a real problem. So we like to try and prevent them getting close to our plants, but when we don't, we've got another solution that we're trialing, and that is making use of my sourdough starter. I've recently started making sourdough bread. You can check that out on our other channel. I'll leave a link in the description below and a link on screen. And part of the sourdough process is having to discard some of the sourdough starter every now and again. This is similar to using beer as a slug trap in the garden because it involves yeast, and the slugs and snails are drawn towards the yeast. So I'll mix some sourdough starter with a little bit of borax and leave this in bowls in the garden under cover so they don't get rained on. So the sourdough starter will attract the slugs and snails and they'll gobble it up and then also consume the borax, which is not really very good for their health. It'll kill them, and that's the goal. If they're brave enough to make their way over the vetiver grass to our plants, or that they're in areas where I haven't got enough vetiver grass down on the ground, then they can enjoy this mixture of sourdough starter and borax. From what I understand about using beer in the same way, slugs and snails can smell it from a long way off. So this will be a very interesting experiment. So there you have it. Using vetiver grass or something similar as a mulch to help prevent the slugs and snails getting at your precious plants, and making great use of that excess sourdough starter to really deal with them and put them to rest once and for all. If you'd like to know more about the vetiver grass, or the king's grass that we call it here in Thailand, check out this video. Thanks very much for watching.